Chapter 13. Iulian, the Gypsy Boy. Iulian was a gypsy boy of 12 with long curly hair and dark eyes. His smile showed 2 large front teeth. Dressed in an old corduroy suit, he wore what seemed to be his father's boots. Nobody paid him any attention until he became a Christian and joined the children's choir. After that, he became a real threat to the secret police. Iulian became a good friend of mine. He helped me clean the church, and in return, I taught him to read and write, using the New Testament as the textbook. It was not easy to teach him to read, especially since he had a tendency to add extra sounds at the end of the words, as gypsies often do. After many days of hard work, I knew that he had gotten it. Little did I know that one day Iulian's ability to read would save my life. The gypsy quarter, with its tents and horse-drawn caravans, was not far away from the church. It was evening and Iulian's family was sitting around the fire having supper. "You can't go to the church anymore," said his mother while pouring boiling milk into the earthen bowls. She was a big woman with colorful long dress and a scarf tied at the back of her head. "I have to go, Mom," Iulian replied. "The choir is expecting me." "It's very serious, boy," said his father, a short man with a mustache and a black hat. "The police even gave us money to keep you home." But Iulian squared his shoulders. "I have the time of my life when I go there. Not like when I go to town. Children in town throw stones at me and call me names. The other day, the baker pushed me out of his store and kicked me. I swear I will never go into that store again. But at the church they love me. The children let me sit next to them. Pastor Rado prayed for me by name one Sunday evening." "Iulian, it's very dangerous," his father said. "We have been reported to the secret police. We will be put in prison if we are not careful." "They said," continued Iulian's mother, "that the pastor pronounced a blessing over you. The police called it a curse. They said he prayed, 'May this boy become a preacher for the gypsies.' They didn't like that at all." Yes, that's right," his father said, crossing his arms. "They said that should never happen. They do not want a gypsy church. They also want to put Genovieva, the choir director, on trial. They set it all up, and you are going to be a witness," said Iulian's mother. "They said she should have sent you to school instead of letting you help her clean the church." Iulian forgot about the boiled milk and corn mush in his bowl. His younger brother and sister were eating while watching with big eyes. That evening Iulian went to bed early, but he couldn't fall asleep. He thought of Pastor Rado, who had prayed for him and who had been murdered since that time. He had seen with his own eyes his blood-stained clothes in the woodshed at the church. Will they kill me too? He thought. Late at night, when everybody was asleep, Iulian sneaked out of the door and ran as fast as he could to the church where I was living. He jumped over the high fence and knocked at the window. "Genovieva, it's me, Iulian." "Come around the back," I answered. "Genovieva," Iulian said, "I have to speak with you. The police are after us. They have witnesses. 2 neighbors wrote declarations that they saw me coming to church instead of going to school. They say that you took me away from school. But you never did that. I don't want you to go to prison because of me. Iulian, do not be afraid. You have been such a good friend to me in the last 2 years. I'm ready to suffer for you for Christ's sake. They tried to stop me coming to the choir too. That would be hard on me. We will pray, Iulian, and don't forget that nothing can separate us from the love of Christ. God is so strong that our enemies are like dwarfs in front of him. When you are called to the police, don't forget that the Lord will go with you. He will teach you what to answer. Now go before anybody sees us." The next day, all the family was summoned to the police station. There, in a room filled with powerful communists, Iulian saw his parents give declarations in fear. The 2 neighbors were there too, brought in as witnesses. "What did you do at the church during the week, Iulian?" asked Andronic, the inspector of churches. "I watered the garden, dusted the pews, sang songs, and read stories from the Bible. I love Genovieva more than I love my grandmother, sir." "That girl has interrupted your schooling," the inspector replied. A smirk crept over his face. "Any person who causes a child to miss school should be punished. It is illegal to be illiterate in Romania. So a boy of 12 like you cannot read or write because of her." "But sir," said Iulian, standing up, "I never went to school in my life. Boys there hate us gypsies. I swear I would never go. But I can read and write. Genovieva taught me. Let me show you." Taking out a worn-out New Testament from his pocket, he opened and read, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life." "That's enough," said the policeman, embarrassed. "I didn't know you could read." Iulian's parents looked at each other in amazement. Suddenly they became so proud of their son. But the witnesses were ashamed. "You are all dismissed now," said Andronic.
Alleluia, slava lui,
another day passed. And when evening came, Iulian was reading from the New Testament to the gypsies around the fire. They were listening to words they had never heard before. Jesus said, "I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved. He will come in and go out and find pasture. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep." John 10:9-11. As he read these verses, Iulian wondered, am I ready to suffer for the Lord?